Hey guys, hope you guys are having an awesome day so far. I have a couple things I want to, share with you guys. A couple things have been on my mind, and I feel it's very important, and it will hopefully help shape the way you might think about things in a newer way. I feel like everything's connected. A lot of my mentorship, it all reflects the same thing. If you want to get better, don't focus on another person. Focus on you. Focus on developing and honing your skills. You control you. No one else controls you. You attract everything in your life, positive and negative. The awareness of that and the awareness of the source and where we come from is really all that really matters. Know that you are not of the world, you are in it, but not of it. That you are connected to the source. Like everything has cause and effect. We are the effect of a cause. What is that cause? I feel like in the Bible it talks about, seek and ye shall find. A lot of people aren't looking. You're not looking at all. A lot of people are doing the same things over and over and over again. And whatever is habitual will determine your long-term results in anything. So smoke a cigarette a day, smoke a pack a day. Fast forward 20 years, see what happens with your health. Take care of your body. Treat it as if it's the temple, the holy temple, and see what happens. 20 years from now. Everything's compound effect. What you do today will always dictate how you live your life, what it looks like in the future. So all these different concepts are all interconnected. And I've had these conversations with a lot of my really, really close friends. This information is very powerful, and I feel like me knowing it, I have to share it somehow. So some of this might not make sense to some people, but hopefully one or two things, one or two little golden nuggets sticks. I feel like everything's connected. All philosophical principles, religions, it all comes back and stems back to the same thing, that we are not just things. We are all connected. Everything I do will dictate not only my life, but how people respond. It has an effect, a massive effect on people. Quantum physicists would probably agree with that statement. And so I want to kind of touch on a couple things. One of my good mentors talks about Miyamoto Musashi. He's one of the ancient Japanese samurais of legend. This guy was an amazing swordsman and an amazing individual, amazing philosopher. He wrote a book called The Five Rings. And in it he says one of these most profound statements. There is nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to get better, stronger, richer, quicker, or smarter. Everything is within. Everything exists. Seek nothing outside of yourself. And I think when, if you talk about Christianity, a lot of Christians might hear that and be like, oh, seek nothing outside of me. Well, what, God's outside of me, am I supposed? No, think about it as if God is already in you. In the present tense, think about it as God is already in you. We are not separate. The Holy Spirit, right, is in all of us. We are collective consciousness. Our mind, body, and spirit, it's all connected. They're not separate entities. To understand it as human beings, we might separate them. Yes, I get that. But we're all connected. He is in us. In the Bible, it talks about that. Darkness and lightness and having the spirit in you and having, negativity and positivity. I mean, it's all connected. Everything's all connected. If I go on and I move to Lao Tzu, the Chinese got it right in a lot of things. So, and the Japanese as well. Lao Tzu, he says, knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. If you realize that, you have enough. You are truly rich. So it talks about, if you look at it kind of objectively, we're all chasing the next thing, the next high, the next time we get to go out and drink, or the next time we get to shoot darts. I have family members that do that a lot, or the next competition that we're going to go into, or the next time I can go in and show someone up and prove someone wrong. Everyone's trying to, achieve something and put that achievement in the fulfillment area. Like, those are two separate things. Like, we're all trying to get rich. Everyone, wants to have more money and more time, and true fulfillment is already realizing that you have everything you need inside of you, and knowing that the source, which is God, is in you right now. You're not separate from Him. There's no neutral energy. It's positive and negative, and even then, negativity and darkness, that was created by someone. Hopefully, this is hitting you pretty hard. I want to shake things up a little bit. Right, we look at Les Brown, who's one of the most amazing speakers of our generation and past generations. He says, he talks about an old African proverb: if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm. So you look at the ancient Chinese, the ancient Japanese, the ancient African tribes. They're all connected. All you look at, historians will probably agree with that. Everything is interconnected at the most spiritual level in tribal formation and historical formation. There are so many similar beliefs in the cosmos and in life in general. So the enemy, like, you are your worst enemy. If you conquer yourself, which I go into the next one, Buddha talks about a man who conquers himself is greater than one who conquers 1,000 men in battle. You conquering yourself, that's it. That's the greatest battle that we have, is fighting. And what are you conquering? You, the enemy. You are the enemy. You are the enemy to yourself. The only one who can stop you from achieving or fulfilling anything great or noteworthy in this life, in this very fragile, short life, is you. You, that's it. The enemy, the darkness, the deceptive, the past habitual habits, habits that we formed. Eating junk food, going out drinking, lusting after women, men, vice versa if you're a woman. All these different things that we've developed. You talk about the 7 sins, 7 deadly sins. You talk about what is sin. Like, it's all destructive, corruptive. It just destroys who you are. And how can you grow if you're holding yourself back? The only way for you to grow and move forward is to understand these concepts and understand that you determine if you will succeed in life. But you can't do it by yourself. You have the source within you. So hopefully this is kind of all connecting. And I love this stuff so much. And I love talking about it because it makes so much sense when you really look at everything objectively and you connect the dots. It's all connected. We are all connected. All philosophical principles, all historical principles, the foundation of everything is all one. Nothing is separate. I mean, I go in and I talk about, Martin Luther King Jr. You have all these, in America and other countries, but not so much other countries as we believe in America. We have all this racial craziness going on. Everyone's talking about, these cops did this, these people did that. Like, dude, like Martin Luther King Jr., who was one of the biggest advocates of civil rights, he said one of the most profound statements that I love. He says, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that." And you have all these people like doing all these negative things, people getting hurt, killed, dude, all this crazy, crazy stuff. And it's not going to change anything. Like, only your positive light in a dark world can change that. All of it's connected. Jesus' principles, Buddha's principles. It's crazy when you really look at it. So what I leave you with now, guys, is you have that opportunity. My instructor, my jiu-jitsu instructor, Marcio, he's an amazing individual. And he said these words. He said this morning, actually, in training. He says, you must help you first. And what does that look like? Well, if you get yourself in check, look at your life without emotional lens, with logic. What has led up to your life right now is a reflection of what you've done in the past. If you want a new future, you have to change what you're doing right now. And so you must help you first. A drowning victim cannot help another drowning victim. People freak out. When I was in the Navy and rescue swimmer school, they told us that. Like, you'll have people freaking out when you're trying to save someone's life. They might try to sink the other person. They could even be married. A married couple who vowed through sickness and health that they love each other and they'll take care of each other. They could even do that. Like, they could kill each other because you don't think straight. So a drowning victim cannot help another drowning victim. You get your life in check first. You can't help anybody else if you can't help yourself. If you're broke, how are you going to help someone else who's broke? It's not going to happen. So think about everything. Like, think about, your life. If you want something different, do something different. That could mean financially. That could mean relationships. That could mean faith. That could mean your fitness, your health, your overall nutrition, your love for yourself, the knowledge of the world and how things really work. Not just the shallow stuff like the politics and the shallow political, religious divisions and all this other stuff. Look at it for what it is. Life is here. Life is now. Life is in you. The source is in you. You can change everything. But you have to think differently about what you're doing with your life. Right here, right now. Don't waste time. This is it, guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I love and respect you and honor you. Take care.